What happened at the end of the movie, The Wild Robot? And what really happened to the planet? The movie The Wild Robot recently hit theaters. An animated film that made a lot of buzz. It is undoubtedly one of the most interesting movies of the year, but it left us with many questions. Did Roz really develop a genuine feeling for the baby goose? What exactly happened in the end? If you want to know more about The Wild Robot, stay tuned to this video. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. Before we start with this video, and to celebrate the arrival of the Penguin series, we will be giving away a Funko Pop from the Batman movie. To participate, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and leave a comment telling us who is your favorite character from the DC universe and why. The winner will be announced on October 31st. To understand what happened to the planet, or what exactly happened at the end of the movie, we must start at the beginning. The Wild Robot is an animated film from DreamWorks that was recently released in theaters. The story follows Roz, a robot designed to follow orders, who wakes up on a wild island after an accident leaves her stranded. Roz must adapt to this hostile environment inhabited by animals who at first see her as a threat. After accidentally destroying a goose's nest, she adopts a baby goose named Brightbill. This event forces her to face new emotional challenges. And over time, she learns to form strong bonds with the island's animals while developing survival skills. But how is it possible for a robot to do all this? The story tells us that this model robot is programmed to accomplish any task assigned to it. Robots like Roz were created by a company called Universal Dynamics under the Rozoom production line. They were originally designed to serve humans in specific tasks, although it is not fully detailed in the film what exactly their purpose is in human society. What is clear is that the robots have assigned functions and fulfill the role of servants. These robots were created specifically to meet human needs, as people are completely dependent on them to survive and improve their quality of life. Their main function is to ensure the well-being of humans, from performing physical tasks to making important decisions. Roz wakes up on an island disconnected from its original purpose and without instructions, which forces her to adapt on her own. First, Roz needs the humans' instructions to follow a task, and on the island there are only animals, which at first becomes a hindrance for Roz as she doesn't get to have an assigned task. Over the course of the film, we see how Roz realizes that she is having communication problems, and she self-programs herself to understand the language of the animals. This leads her to understand the living creatures on the island without a problem. However, this story is not just about an artificial intelligence learning how to talk to animals, but carries a deeper message. Throughout the plot, Roz is not only confronted with wildlife, but also with the challenges of motherhood and sacrifice. The real message seems to be a metaphor for what parents go through in raising their children, doing everything they can to make sure they survive in a world that undervalues them. The relationship between Roz and Brightbill, along with the other animals, shows how their ability to learn and love transcends their original programming. Roz now has a clear purpose: to teach Brightbill the skills necessary to survive in the wild. Roz must teach Brightbill to fly, swim, and survive by observing the behavior of other animals and analyzing Brightbill's needs as he grows. With no previous experience in parenting, her ability to learn quickly about her environment allows her to identify what is essential for the survival of a goose like Brightbill. With the help of the other animals, such as Longneck, an older goose who explains how to teach Brightbill to fly, Roz understands that Brightbill will need to master these skills to migrate and face the dangers of the wild. This mutual learning between Roz and Brightbill shows how, despite not being a biological being, Roz uses her learning ability to become a caring and successful mother. You're probably wondering, how did Roz manage to raise a goose in an unfamiliar place? To do so, she teamed up with Fink, although he is not Brightbill's father. Fink is a fox, one of the first animals Roz helps. And throughout the story, he represents the wild and cunning nature of the place. He could also symbolize a paternal side to the story. At first, his interactions with Roz are complicated, as Fink is opportunistic and rebellious. However, he also reflects the transition of the animals as they accept Roz as part of their community. He initially distrusts her, but eventually recognizes her value when she begins to help the other animals. Although Fink, the fox, does not directly raise Brightbill, his relationship with Roz allows him to have an indirect influence on the goose. He is not presented as an explicit parental figure, but as a character that enriches the dynamic, highlighting the challenges of adapting to the wild place. Roz remains the primary mother, while Fink brings a more instinctive wisdom, complementing the lessons Brightbill learns throughout the film. Although Roz has found a new emotional life with the animals on the island, and has fulfilled a role as a mother to Brightbill, the balance is broken when the robots from Universal Dynamics arrive to retrieve her. These robots were sent to take her back, so they can investigate how she pushed her limits to survive in an unfamiliar world. In a moment of ultimate tension, Roz must decide between returning to her factory programming or sacrificing everything she has gained to protect her new friends and the life she has created with them. Roz, aware that her presence may bring more dangers to the island and its inhabitants, decides to sacrifice herself for the welfare of the animals. She voluntarily surrenders herself to the company's robots, accepting that with this action, they will take away her memories forever. This act highlights one of the key themes of the film: sacrifice and the ability to choose. Roz has evolved beyond her original purpose, proving to have her own will by deciding to protect the ones she loves, without obeying orders. However, after the attempt to erase her memory and return her to her original state, we see how Brightbill manages to enter the ship where Roz was being carried, and in an act that we can call as true love between a child and a mother, we see how Roz regains her memory again and decides to fight her way out of the ship with Brightbill. This moment reveals that although humans and machines try to control her, Roz has developed something deeper: her own identity, formed through her experiences and relationships. Before leaving the island, Roz promises the animals that even if she has to leave, she will find a way to return. This ending leaves the door open for future adventures and raises questions about the power of artificial intelligence. Now, one of the questions that the ending of this film leaves us with is what happened to the world. The island where Roz arrives is a place completely isolated from the rest of the world. During the migration of the geese, we see the Chicago Bridge covered by water, which shows that the robot technology is far advanced compared to our present. It is also shown that humans no longer live in contact with nature, but in artificial cities inside the Earth, far away from the natural environment. It is possible that the world has been devastated by pollution, or a cataclysm that caused the glaciers to melt, causing large cities to be underwater. We know this because the migration of the geese is not to another island or country, but to one of these human cities built inside the Earth, far from wildlife. It is likely that the island where the geese live is one of the few places where there is still animal life, which explains Roz's importance in the story. Roz could be the first robot in a long time to learn animal language and develop consciousness, becoming a bridge between humans and nature. Perhaps in a future installment, we will see Roz trying to restore coexistence between humans and animals and seek their return back to nature. The film closes with a mixture of hope and melancholy. Roz has saved the island and the animals, but now faces a new challenge. This ending leaves us with the promise of a possible reunion and a reflection on how intelligence and emotions can go beyond programming. In my opinion, this is one of the best films of the year. Not only does it show us the story of a robot in a dystopian future destroyed by humans, but it also reflects how people face difficult situations. Undoubtedly, it is a movie worth watching and highly recommended. Now I would like to know your opinion. Did you like the movie? What did you think of the ending? And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You are on The Oasis Geek.